Rich DeMarco on the Army Football Report as the Black Knights get set for a homecoming, hosting Eastern Michigan on Saturday afternoon at Michie Stadium. In just a moment, we'll talk with Plebe wide receiver Xavier Moss, who was on the receiving end of the flea flicker 75-yard touchdown pass from Angel Santiago against Boston College. But up first, here are comments from Army head coach Rich Ellerson at his weekly news conference previewing Saturday's game against the Eagles.
Eastern Michigan's a challenge. They're a bunch of guys, especially on the offensive side of the ball, that we've seen before and had their way with us a year ago. They like us have struggled a little bit against some very quality opponents, the Penn States and Ball States. So we've got to, they do a few things that Boston College does. They have a little bit of Boston College in there, and especially in their run game. They've got a back it was a nightmare for us a year ago. So we've got to correct and fix some things that were a challenge for us last week, and we got to do it while we're recovering and recuperating and getting some guys back on the. So we've got a lot of work done to get done this week on a couple of levels. They're going to be encouraged by some of the things that they're seeing because they can see similarities in their style of play, and conversely, we have to get some things straight to be able to hold up. They say we don't have any plays that are designed to get 3 yards. We have, so we're not surprised when we nail somebody. But it was good to see Larry finish a long run on a long field against a quality opponent. It was good to get a ball over somebody's head. And again, I don't know. I think, as we were saying earlier, I've seen guys that wide open before. I've just never seen them that wide open before, where the ball wasn't overthrown or the ball was easily caught. And when you have that long to think about it, and everybody's seeing the same thing. But that's encouraging because we have to. There are opportunities. With as aggressive as people have to be on the back end to run support, we have to be able to take advantage of that. The challenge we have, of course, is staying aggressive in the practice environment while we're recovering from. We've been in some really physically hard-fought football games, and we have to be pragmatic as we look at our week of preparation. There are some things and that concerns me from a standpoint of being able to continue to improve and continue to get better. We need to keep the same people out there, a couple of weeks in a row. We need to be able to practice aggressively and fix and reinforce positives and fix negatives, and that's I think I'm not articulating anything that every coach in the country isn't trying to work around at this point. Again, we've been 6 weeks in a row against some really quality opponents and physical contests, and we've been dragging people kicking and screaming in later parts of the game. We haven't finished on the top end of the scoreboard as much as we want to, but we got a lot of football in front of us. We're excited to play. We're the most important game of the year. By golly, the most important game of the year is this week, and the reason is it's the only one we play on Saturday. Our feelings are hurt a little bit, and maybe more importantly, we're banged up a little bit. So as I say, we're going to have to be very creative and diligent and hardworking to get through these next few weeks and keep that arrow up, because it's not easy to do right now, because there's an awful lot of guys walking out of here with an ice bag on right now, and after these first 6 games, and that's going to keep it hard. Now the guys are determined. I mean, the guys are together. They're looking forward to playing. As I say, their feelings are hurt. They didn't want to be pretty good. They wanted to be, oh my goodness, good. And the facts are, we didn't get that done. We were on the cusp of, but didn't get it done. But there's so much still in front of us, and that's what we talked a little bit about yesterday, which was a little bit out of character for us at the halfway point to stop and just reflect on where we were.
That's Army head coach Rich Ellerson. It's Army in Eastern Michigan on Saturday afternoon, 12 o'clock start at Michie Stadium. Time now to spend a couple of minutes with Black Knights plebe wide receiver Xavier Moss, who had a touchdown reception on Saturday at Boston College on a flea flicker play. First of all, Xavier, a tremendous play. You were just completely wide open. Take me through that one.
I mean, we knew they would bring a lot of pressure, so a flea flicker was perfect. So once Terry got the ball and pitched it back to Angel, I was wide open, so all I had to do was catch the ball and just wash it into my hands and ran to the end zone. So
we've talked at various times throughout this season. You're halfway through your plebe year. We talked earlier about what type of impact you thought you would be able to make so early. You've seen this impact now. How's the year gone for you?
It's definitely been a lot of improvements. So it just built up on each other, everything. So as the years gone on, definitely learned from a lot of things and built on them to make my game better. And then academically, that happens too. So it was just built up on each other to the point where it is now.
The opponent on Saturday, Eastern Michigan. Tell me how this team feels. You have the win a couple of weeks ago against Louisiana Tech. You're in the game for more than a half against Boston College. How do you feel right now heading into what's going to be a big game out at Michie Stadium?
I'm real confident. Like, offense has been playing good the last 2 games. We've been flowing together real nice. So as long as we play consistently the whole game, I think it should definitely be a real good game, real good win for us. Get us right back on track after Boston College. So.
Well, Xavier, we appreciate a couple of minutes here on the Army Football Report. Best of luck on Saturday against Eastern Michigan.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's Army plebe wide receiver Xavier Moss. Army and Eastern Michigan, a noon kickoff at Michie Stadium coming up on Saturday. With the Army Football Report for Night Vision, I'm Rich DeMarco.